this episode, we're camped at Letchworth State Park,
which is considered the Grand Canyon of the East.
We just inquired about the rafting trips here. The only outfitter that's allowed to operate here in the park is Adventure Calls. You said the water's really low right now, so it's probably not the best time of year to ride. I think March and April are that. Unfortunately, they're sold out for the whole time we're here. The charge, if you do go rafting here, is $45 per person.
Make your reservations early.
Yeah, make reservations early, like she said, because otherwise they are sold out. There's many waterfalls in this park, but there's three main falls. And of course, they aptly name Upper Falls, Middle Falls, and Lower Falls. If you do go kayaking here, of course, you start below Lower Falls, so you don't have to actually go over to any of the waterfalls in your kayak. We did inquire about blowing up our own kayak and taking it down. These are class 1 and 2 rapids, which are beginner level. And we can get a free permit from the visitor center and do that. Our problems are 3. One is it's about a half-mile hike with your kayak into the river, downhill, which probably isn't too bad. But it's another half-mile hike back out uphill. But the main problem we can't overcome is we come here, we blow up our kayak, we go down and we put in the river and float down the river, and when we get out, our truck is still going to be back here. They really don't have it as service to shuttle you back here. So that is a bit of a problem. I think we're working our way down to that bridge way down there. 127 steps to get the lower waterfall views. This is looking downstream. This is the Genesee River that cuts through Letchworth. Yeah, spectacular views of the gorge here. I think we're going to get up closer to the waterfall though. All right, so that was Lower Falls. It's a bit of a hike on a 95-degree day, but it's maybe half to 3/4 of a mile, I'd say. And it was fun. It's beautiful. Picnic tables here are pretty cool, made of stone with these giant slabs. You do also rent cabins in this park in several areas. They look pretty nice. All right, guys, we're going to go into the Glen Iris Inn restaurant right here in the park, very close to the Middle Falls. Guys, so it's a little hot out for pot roast today, but I'm a sucker for it, so I ordered it anyway. And Beth got probably the more sensible choice for a hot day. She had a salad already and a tuna sandwich. All right, and for dessert, Beth got the harvest pie, which comes warm with ice cream on the side. And I got the peach melba. All right, so the restaurant here at the inn is called Caroline's. The grounds are really beautiful. Guys, lunch having been completed, I'm going to head down to Middle Falls. This is probably the most impressive fall in the park. But first, just a little brief history on this area in Letchworth State Park. This area was originally inhabited by the Seneca Indians before the Revolutionary War. And they unfortunately sided with the British. And after the Revolutionary War, they were forced out. But who are we kidding? They would have ultimately been forced out even if they hadn't sided with the British. But yeah, so then William Letchworth owned this property in the area of Middle Falls, 1,000 acres. And he donated that to the state of New York, and that was the beginning of Letchworth State Park. I think now it's around 14,000 acres. But that was the very beginning, and this was his estate. where we just had lunch. Called the Glen Iris Estate. So let's go take a look at Middle Falls. Really impressive. Mr. Letchworth was a big collector of Native American items, and this museum features a lot of them. This mastodon skull in the museum, and they were in this area from 8,000 to 10,000 BC. The museum is pretty impressive. It's free to enter with your park entry, and it's got a lot of history of the park, history of the Indians in this area, history of Mr. William Pryor Letchworth, who donated the original portion of the land that went on to become Letchworth State Park. And in short, it's worth a visit. Doesn't take that long to walk through. Right, so the walk to Middle Falls is very short if you park at Glen Iris, and the walk to Upper Falls is a short drive and then about a quarter-mile walk, so not very far at all, easy walk. 3 big waterfalls here at Letchworth. These are the most upstream. And just for a little point of reference, this is all the Genesee River. It starts up in Pennsylvania, flows north through New York, and empties into Lake Ontario. So this is the walkway right up beside the Upper Falls, and many little waterfalls off to the side too, and these little tributaries that are feeding down off the mountain and into the gorge, ultimately joining with the Genesee River. We're in site 114. They have 8 camping loops here, and we have 50 amp electric. They don't have water at the campsite. You have to fill up using one of the spigots. We happen to be right next to the restrooms and showers, which are really clean. You can see we have a lot of space. We have almost the same amount of space on the other side. We were able to get out and meet our friend Jim, who we hadn't seen in over 20 years, and also meet his wife Chris in the nearby town of Leroy, New York, where they live. We had a really great time, and it was so nice to see them.